So I got a great idea for a new lanyard video from a post on the forum on my blog at lanyards.com. Disney Girl 4700 asked that I make a video on how to make a traffic light lanyard, which is a great way to show how to add and remove strands from a lanyard so that you can do different colors along the way. So Disney Girl 4700, I think that's an awesome idea, and so I'm showing this video on how to make the traffic light. For this video, you will need to use super glue several times, and super glue is dangerous if you don't use it the right way. So if you're under 18, you need to have an adult with you to do this. The traffic light is a combination of quad stitches. Quad stitches are 2x2 stitches, and this video will be a lot easier to follow if you already know how to do the quad stitch. This is a pretty advanced lanyard, so it will help if you've watched other videos that I've made. So we start with a quad stitch just with black pieces of GIMP, so 4 black pieces of GIMP against a 2x2, and we do a starting stitch and then one more stitch, so 2 quad stitches with the black pieces, and then we actually apply super glue to the 4 strands on the inside, and we cut them off, and then we replace them with green pieces of GIMP, and I'll show you how to do that later in the video. But then we do 4 stitches, then we apply super glue again and cut off the green strands, add back the black strands, do 2 stitches, then we cut off the inner black strands, add in the yellow, do 4 stitches, cut off the yellow, add back in the black, do 2 stitches, cut off the inside black strands, add in red, do 4 stitches, and then finally add back the black pieces of GIMP and do 2 final stitches. In the video, I'll actually be showing how to make this lanyard. It's easier to see blue than it is to see black, so I'll be using blue strands, but you will want to use black to get the real traffic light look. Let's get started. You will need 4 pieces of black GIMP that are each 4 feet long, 2 pieces of yellow GIMP, 2 pieces of green GIMP, and 2 pieces of red GIMP. Each of these should be 1 foot long. It's a little bit difficult to see the black pieces of GIMP in the video, so I'm actually going to show the tutorial using blue in place of black. So when I'm using blue, you should be using black instead. And I'll refer to these pieces of GIMP as black, even though I'm using blue. So take your first black piece and bend it at its center. Drop it over your finger, take the strand at the back, wrap it around to make a second loop. Take another black piece, bend it at its center, drop it over your finger to the left of the 2 loops you already have, take the strand at the back, wrap it around to make a second loop on that piece of GIMP. Take another black piece and run it under all 4 of those loops. And pull it through until you reach its center. Take the strand on the left and bringing it across the top of your finger, go over under the loops. And pull it through. Then take the strand on the right and going below, go across your finger, going over under. Then take your last piece of black gimp and repeat those same steps, but below. So this strand coming down and this strand going across that way, that was your first piece of gimp. This strand coming this way and this strand going that way, that was your second piece of gimp. Your third piece of gimp is here and here. And your fourth piece of gimp is down here, makes up this strand and this strand. This one and this one, that is. So slowly pull it all off of your finger and tighten the strands. And now you've started. Then do another quad stitch on top of your starting stitch. Once you have your starting stitch and your second stitch, you'll want to super glue the 4 inside strands. So that means applying a little bit of super glue right here, right here, right here, and right here. You'll want to do this very carefully. And give that 15 to 30 minutes to dry. Once your glue has dried, cut off those 4 inside strands so that you only have the 4 outside strands remaining. Now don't throw away your inside strands after you cut them off. Hold on to them because we are going to use them later. With your 4 outside strands, make a stitch pretending that you have all of your strands. Sort of like a big square stitch. Then take one of your green pieces and bring it through the center, going under the 2 loops, and pull it through until you get to the middle. Take the strand on the far side of you and bring it towards you, going over and under the loops. Then take the strand that's near you and bring it across, going over and under the loops. And you can see here that I'm maintaining the pattern. I have a loop at the end, then a strand with the green piece of GIMP, then another loop, and then a strand. Same thing if I go on the other side. Loop, strand, loop, strand. What you don't want are 2 strands in a row or 2 loops in a row. Next, take your other green piece of GIMP and bring it under all 4 loops. You'll want to start on one of the sides that doesn't have any green strands hanging out, like this one, which only has this blue strand and this blue loop. So take the green piece of GIMP through the 4 loops until you reach the center. Take the strand on the left and bring it across to the right, going over, under, over, under. Next, you want to take the strand on the right and bring it across to the left, going over, under, over, under. It's actually kind of difficult because now that you've brought the first strand across, it's hard to get under the loop made by this strand. Because what you'll want to do is go over this blue strand and then under the loop from this strand, over this loop, and then under the loop made from the blue strand. So you would need to go in between these two strands here. It's helpful to take this strand and push up the loop, or pull it up. There we go. So we'll go over, under, over, under. And then we'll tighten the strands. So now we're back to a quad stitch, but with green strands on the inside. And the pattern of the stitch is the same as a regular quad stitch, where we have a strand and then a loop, then a strand and a loop, strand loop, going all the way around. Again, you want to make sure you don't have two strands next to each other or two loops next to each other, because you won't be able to tighten the stitch. From here, we will make 3 more quad stitches, and I'll show you the first one. and do 2 more of those. Once you have your 4 green stitches, superglue the inside strands, the 4 green strands, and cut them off just like you did with the original 4 inside black strands. Only you don't need to save the green strands after you cut them off. After you've cut off the inside strands, you're ready to add back in the black strands that you cut off earlier. Well, add back in 2 of them, that is. But before doing that, let's make a big square stitch using these outside strands we have. And then we'll bring in 2 black strands to complete the quad stitch. And do 1 more quad stitch on top of that. Once you have your 2 quad stitches with the all black strands, put super glue on the 4 inside strands and cut them off. And again, you'll want to save these. Don't throw them away. And now we will add the yellow strands. And make 3 more quad stitches with the yellow strands. And once you have your 4 yellow quad stitches, put super glue on the 4 yellow strands and cut them off. And once your yellow strands are cut off, add back on the black strands. And make 1 more quad stitch after that. And then apply glue to the 4 inside strands and cut them off. And you won't need to save the strands this time. Then cut off your inner strands, and finally we'll be adding the red pieces. and do 3 more quad stitches with the red strands. Once you have your 4 quad stitches with the red GIMP, apply super glue to the 4 inside red strands and cut them off. And then we'll add back on the 2 remaining black pieces of GIMP. If you've already thrown them away, then just cut 2 more 1 foot long black pieces of GIMP for this part. And do 1 more quad stitch. And once you have your second quad stitch, apply super glue, and once that's dry, cut off all of the strands. And then you are done with the traffic light.